Joining us now on the Laura Ingraham Show, I'm delighted he's with us, is Harvey Golub. He's the chairman of Miller Buckfire, and he's the former chairman and CEO of American Express. He wrote a great piece a few weeks back on why the so-called Buffett Rule is ridiculous, and he joins us now. Harvey, great to talk to you.
Thank you, Laura. It's very good to be with you.
Do you think that President Obama understands business? I know that's a general question, but I think you know what I mean when I say that. It understands how business operates, just the basics of capitalization and expansion and cost-benefit analyses and so forth.
The impression that I get is that his understanding of capitalism and free markets and how free people operate in free markets is less than my oldest grandson's. It is evident in almost everything he does. Let me give you an example, and it sort of relates to the Buffett Rule as well. In his latest jobs plan, quote jobs plan, one of the things that he suggests is that high-income people lose some of the benefits of municipal tax-free bonds, and he doesn't understand that the purpose of having tax-free bonds is to provide subsidies to the municipalities and states that issue those bonds. And because they're tax-free, they charge a lower rate. If the tax benefit went away, they would have to charge a higher rate. Otherwise, people wouldn't buy those bonds. And the cost then of reducing that tax deduction, which incidentally I think ought to go to zero. I don't think municipal bonds ought to have any tax benefits at all. And the municipalities and states ought to issue the bonds at market prices, which would be substantially higher than they are now, substantially higher by the difference in the tax rates. And that would make more transparent what states and municipalities are spending. But it would not involve any new economic value. It would simply transfer money from municipalities and states to the federal government. That transfer, then, he is, on the other hand, saying, I'm going to give money to the states and municipalities so they can hire teachers and firemen, but they'll actually end up hiring supervisors and regulators. It is so ignorant that when I first read the piece, I thought to myself, I don't understand this. This can't be right. This can't be what he's doing. And I called my friends at the American Enterprise Institute, and I spoke to the head economist there, Kevin Hazard. And I said,
I love Kevin.
What am I missing? What don't I get? And he said, I don't think you're missing anything, but let me find out. And he spoke to several of the other economists. They said, no, it's exactly right. This is just stupid and political theater.
Do you think Tim Geithner understands the basics of what business needs today? I mean, do you think he gets it? He went to college a little bit before I did it. We went to the same school, and so I kind of knew him a little bit, very casually. We were working for opposing newspapers. I was editing the Dartmouth Review, which is this conservative upstart, and he was editing the college newspaper, so he was the accepted journalist. So I go back a long time with him. But he's apparently the only guy who can explain economics to Obama now.
Well, there were very few in the White House. The people in the White House are naive to an extent that is unimaginable. In this particular case, I can only speculate, but I would guess that people were not asked, or if they were asked, their input was ignored.
Yeah. Well, you almost wonder if some people understand what municipal bonds and what the whole concept means and how it actually plays out in the real world. This is a question, and you might have heard this already, but and we're talking to Harvey Golub, former CEO of American Express, and now the chairman of Miller Buckfire. This is a question asked at the big Silicon Valley event yesterday, and this was Google employee number 59, who hasn't worked, Harvey, since 2005 because he hit it big, of course, at Google. This is what he said to the president.
I don't have a job, but that's because I've been lucky enough to live in Silicon Valley for a while and work for a small startup down the street here that did quite well. So I'm unemployed by choice. My question is, would you please raise my taxes?
I appreciate your sentiment.
No. I mean, Harvey, I hear this stuff and I keep thinking, why doesn't Obama just pass around a hat and have all these guys just write their checks to the IRS? They can just do it right now, and they can lead by example.
I don't understand it, Laura. There clearly are, the president has 42% approval rating, or something like that. And Ari Fleischer has told me that is so abysmally low he can't imagine it. But I'm trying to imagine 42% of the people, and I'm thinking of a person and saying, how could that person come to that conclusion based on the facts? What is going through their mind? And there is a third of the country who believes that redistributionist policies are the way to get fairness. And I don't understand the thinking. I don't understand their logic on the basis of
but they don't do it, though. But they don't do it, Harvey. I mean, Warren Buffett has enough money and makes enough money just on his dividend income. It's his own choice. He doesn't pay himself a salary. That was his choice. He can write a check at any point in time and put your money where your mouth is. I'm sorry. I mean, I know he's really, Berkshire Hathaway and a really smart guy, but, I mean, nothing's stopping any of these people from actually donating their money to the federal government to do whatever the federal government is going to do with the money. Solyndra or other bogus green jobs initiatives. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, all of those people actually would prefer to spend the money themselves. Warren, I haven't seen his tax returns, but he has made a number of very good investments over the years, and he's as you know, phenomenally wealthy.
Right.
He decided to put his money into a foundation. And doing so meant that he didn't have to pay capital gains tax. And then he got the deduction for the money he put in the foundation at the market appreciated rates, and that deduction reduced his reported income. But he is such an outlier that to think you would make national economic policy based on one person's experience is nonsense. All of the data shows that higher income people pay higher rates in taxes overall, including all of the taxes, than lower income people. And the progressivity in the tax rates, the effect of the progressivity in the tax rates is extraordinary. If somebody wants to pay more, they're certainly entitled to pay more. What they really want to do is get everybody to pay more. I don't know why, because the government will waste it.